You upgraded to GPT 5.2 expecting the smartest AI ever made. Instead, you got an assistant that blocks simple requests, sounds cold and robotic, and somehow feels worse than the version before it. For the past 2 weeks, I've gone through leaked internal memos, real user complaints, and Sam Altman's damage or control interviews. Here's the truth. OpenAI didn't just mess up an update. They triggered a crisis that exposed what's broken about how big AI actually works. Welcome back to Tube Trends AI, where we do the research so you don't have to. If you care about where AI is actually heading, you're in the right place. Join our channel for weekly AI news and updates. Hit the link in the description and subscribe. Now, let's get into it. In this video, I'm breaking down the full GPT 5.2 disaster from every angle. The technical failures that made the model worse at basic tasks, the internal code red panic at OpenAI that rushed this release out the door, and the ethical landmines around censorship and trust that pushed users to the edge. By the end, you'll understand exactly how Sam Altman went from AI's golden boy to running apology tours, and what this means for the future of AI you actually use. So how did we get here? Let's rewind. In late 2025, GPT 5.2 was supposed to lock in OpenAI's dominance. Instead, it split the community in half. Almost immediately, early users noticed something was off. One Reddit post summed it up perfectly. GPT 5.2 felt cold, negative, rigid. Simple requests were suddenly refused, often justified with vague safety rules that didn't make sense. And one question kept popping up everywhere. Is OpenAI going to keep flipping the AI's personality with every single release? On X, AI entrepreneur Ali K. Miller said it best. Yes, GPT 5.2 is smart, but it feels less like a helpful assistant and more like a stiff analyst turning easy questions into long, lecture-style answers. At the same time, critics accused OpenAI of massively overhyping abilities that never actually showed up. And here's the key point. This backlash didn't come out of nowhere. To understand why GPT 5.2 failed, we have to look at the disaster that came before it, the original GPT-5 rollout. And that's where things really start to unravel. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Over 3,000 people signed a petition demanding one thing: bring back GPT 4.0. OpenAI's own Reddit exploded. The top post wasn't feedback, it was a takedown. And then something almost unheard of happened. Within a week, Sam Altman admitted it publicly. We totally screwed up parts of the rollout. Those were his words. OpenAI rolled back key changes. GPT 4.0 was restored as an option. Altman admitted a hard lesson. You don't experiment when hundreds of millions of people wake up to a new AI overnight. He promised future updates would give users more control. But behind the scenes, the pressure was only getting worse. Because GPT 5.2 wasn't born from a calm roadmap. It was born from panic. Here's the turning point. In November 2025, Google dropped Gemini 3. Inside OpenAI, it started winning benchmarks. That triggered an internal code red. Teams were reassigned. Side projects were frozen. Altman told everyone to stop everything and improve ChatGPT fast. When Reuters confirmed GPT 5.2 followed a code red memo, everything clicked. This wasn't a careful upgrade. It was a sprint to answer Google. GPT 5.2 launched in early December 2025 with bold promises: sharper reasoning, better coding, long context mastery. OpenAI claimed it could solve complex tasks 11 times faster than human experts at just 1% of the cost. On paper, it looked unbeatable. In reality, rushing under pressure cuts both ways. Speed beat caution, and that decision shows up everywhere things broke. Yes, GPT 5.2 pushed the state of the art. But it also shipped with serious problems. The biggest one? Regressions. OpenAI's own docs quietly admitted it. Instant mode showed quality drops, grading errors, inconsistent behavior, safety checks slipping backward, Reddit filled with side-by-side tests, same prompt. GPT 5.1 wins. One developer nailed it. Benchmarks don't ship products. Reliability does. If an AI nails a hard task but fumbles the follow-up, it's useless in production. Then came automatic model switching. Different submodels answering different questions. In theory, faster. In practice, confusing. Altman later admitted it made the AI feel dumber at times. Complex questions went to simple models. Easy questions hit overthinking ones. Users joked ChatGPT had its IQ siphoned off. And speed? Another problem. Thinking mode could grind for an hour. Regular questions still took minutes. Users had to choose slow genius or fast ants. Early verdict? GPT 5.2 felt built for power users and enterprises, not everyday chat. And the limits didn't help. Paid users were capped as low as 80 messages per 3 hours. People paying $20 a month felt like they were rationing oxygen. To make matters worse, ethical hackers bypassed safeguards with ease. Security holes surfaced. For a company preaching AI safety, that was brutal optics. Ethical concerns, personality swings, censorship, and trust issues. The GPT 5.2 controversy goes beyond technical glitches. At its core, it's about trust. The personality problem. Users who had developed rapport with ChatGPT's old persona felt blindsided by the sudden changes. OpenAI is squeezed between camps. One side fears AI with any sociocultural values. Another fears AI that normalizes harmful views under the guise of neutrality. When President Trump signed an executive order effectively banning woke AI in government, companies scrambled to prove neutrality or risk losing contracts. Sam Altman says he wants users to be able to push the AI in whatever direction they choose. That sounds great. But doing that without opening the door to abuse? That's still an unsolved problem. And that leads straight into the bigger issue: transparency. OpenAI has shifted from an open research nonprofit into a tightly guarded for-profit company. GPT 5.2 wasn't open sourced. Training details weren't shared. So when things went wrong, people filled in the blanks themselves. Leaks started spreading. The code red story surfaced. Whispers of internal disagreement followed. Then came the moment that really set people off. Users briefly spotted what looked like ads inside ChatGPT. OpenAI quickly denied any ad testing, but the damage was done. The optics were bad, and the community reaction was intense. Trump's executive order forced AI companies to prove political neutrality. In Europe, regulators gained fresh ammunition to demand stronger transparency rules. GPT 5.2 quickly became a case study lawmakers will point to when debating AI oversight. So, how did OpenAI respond? Sam Altman went into full damage as control mode. Message limits were expanded after user backlash. He promised users would eventually be able to push the AI much further in whatever direction they want. OpenAI has started regaining goodwill by clearly communicating fixes and showing genuinely impressive demos. But here's the warning. If they stumble like this again, patience will run out. The GPT 5.2 saga isn't just a tech hiccup, it's a cautionary tale. We watched technical issues snowball into a trust crisis. We saw a powerful company humbled by its own users. And we watched Sam Altman shift from visionary CEO to steady helmsman, publicly owning mistakes. This won't be the last AI controversy. As models grow more powerful, the stakes only rise. These moments highlight what matters most: transparency, real user input, and innovation that pushes boundaries without breaking the tools people rely on. For OpenAI, the mission now is simple but not easy. Rebuild trust. They're bringing back older models. adding more controls, fixing obvious problems. The real question is this: will it be enough? What do you think? Was the backlash justified or just inevitable growing pains at the edge of progress? Do you trust OpenAI to get it right? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this deep dive helped you think more clearly about AI, hit like and subscribe for more honest breakdowns. This is a pivotal moment in AI history, and how it unfolds is something all of us are shaping together. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay critical.